Good evening, everybody. Cats don't leave me alone, so this is gonna be interesting. Either way, today we're doing D'Angelo things. It's been a while since you heard from D'Angelo. Maybe he's busy sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, or maybe he pissed off the wrong people and is now rotting in a ditch somewhere. Either way, now as good a time as any to check up on him. It's been one evening, I know that game time isn't, very linear, right? At least I hope it isn't. Hello, Jade! I can't see from... Well, I can badly see from my right eye, but it's gonna do. It's gonna do. And I'm being attacked by cats. I tried streaming earlier, but 3 of my boys are, really excited for some reason. One is now on my husband. You make your way through now familiar rusty maze of the grain terminal and up the stairs to D'Angelo's office. This time, however, you find the room firmly locked. There's a note pinned to the door. You rip it off and scan the crooked lettering. There's been another one. At the scene now. Come to bed, Stewie. Corner of Pulaski and Garvey. ASAP. What's wrong with the letters? Looks like D'Angelo could use your help. First of all, he wants you to teach him capitals from non-capitals because he seems to have issues writing. Oh. Oof. Yeah. Oof. When I was a kid, at about the time when I was having my back surgeries, 10, 12 years old, my computer stopped working with any kind of monitor inputs, and for several years I had to use TV instead of a monitor. As you approach the address, D'Angelo gave you a squad car, passes you by, sirens blaring. Following it, you make a turn from the DeKalb Ave into Pulaski Street. Sure enough, the street is awash with red light, and the 4 police cars parked on the nearest corner next to an ambulance confirm that you're in the right place. Isn't it a bit dangerous to be investigating a murder amid all of the, people? You move closer to what appears to be New York's finest convention, looking around in the hopes of spotting a familiar, if not altogether pleasant face. No such luck. True to his Nosferatu lineage, D'Angelo is nowhere to be seen. You stop on the sidewalk across the street, trying not to draw attention to yourself. All of a sudden, one of the cops standing by the entrance to the building looks straight at you. He does a double take, and you instinctively look away. Bad move, you think to yourself as you note him making his way toward you. Oof. Is that... that could be D'Angelo. They have that ability to make themselves blend in. Not allowing panic to set in, you stand your ground, doing your best ordinary citizen impression. The cop waddles across the street towards you, his sense of authority putting the extra spring in his step. Try to remain calm as he puts his hand on his holster. Shit, you can't help but mouth the word. This is about to get messy. Suddenly he stops as if instinctively realizing he was just inches away from a grisly demise. He waves at you dismissively and yells in a thick Brooklyn accent. Hey, this is an active crime scene. Be on your way. This cop looks so friendly, though. He nearly shot us for some reason, but he looks so friendly. Relieved but trying not to show it, you put on your grumpy New Yorker face and start to walk away. As you make your way past the dark alleyway, somebody grabs you by the arm and pulls you into the shadows. If the smell of cigars and cheap cologne don't give him away, the gravely voice sure does. Nice save. I mean, dumb to show your face around here in the first place, but still. Honey? You can't spell, to begin with, but honey, you were the one that left me the note. If you wanted me to be somewhere else... could have specified, alleyway, not in front of all the coppers. Come on, I parked around the corner. Before you know it, you're sitting in the passenger seat of a busted old sedan parked half a block away, giving you a nice view of the police gathering. Sorry? I'm sorry? Game? We can take the cops? We can take the cops. What? You know what? Why not? We can take the cops. We can take them, no sweat, see? There's only 2 of them. That we know of. Might be more inside. I don't know, kid. I can handle risky, but this seems downright stupid. I agree, but I picked this option because we apparently can take the cops. Grow some balls. Come on, did your balls fall off along with most of your skin? Where's your sense of adventure? What if the answer is yes? Cat. Cat. More cat. Too much cat. Why is there so much cat? He leers at you. Though he never admit it, you can tell it got to him a bit. Funny kid. Fine. Let's do it your way. Hell, I was getting hungry anyway. Just take it slow, don't make a mess out of it. Get in close before you make your move. You take one, I'll nab the other nice and clean. Get out of the car, careful not to slam the door behind you. You take a good look around, scoping the area and making sure no one's around. As you cross the street, you look back and note that D'Angelo is no longer in the car. Good. Let's hope he gets in position for when it's time to act. You mosey along the sidewalk, getting closer to the 2 cops. As you get closer, one of them looks your way with a look on his face saying, "Can I help you?" Before he can even open his mouth, you pounce on him, sinking your teeth into his neck. Fighting off the urge to savor the moment, you quickly make off with him into the shadows of the nearly alley. I'm sorry, this is quite the picture. Quite the picture. Stop saying that. But I mean, can you imagine? It's like coppers about the size of you. You just go and then run off. Like you run off with the whole person. That looks. I'm sorry, I can't imagine that looking right at all. It doesn't sound like it would look right. Strength be damned, it just doesn't sound like it would actually look right. There, away from prying eyes, you lean the unconscious cop against an overstuffed dumpster and finish your meal. It's not the most appetizing environment, would it? Did I just kill a cop? Am I a murder torador now? Because after how I reacted to Tamika, I'm gonna be surprised if I have any more than 3 humanity. Hi! Hi, Floaty Cat. Guys, we're not leaving alone today. We're murder toradors. This is making my camera's ability to dispose of my background go absolutely crazy. Kinda messed my lighting. And the cat's hitting you now, congrats.
No.
If I can fix this a tiny bit. I think sense it. There we go. Will do. Hi. Hi, cat. You need anything? Yeah? Maybe? No? Any other cat things? Maybe? I accidentally wiped some lipstick on the top of your head. That's okay. You're now a makeup cat. Yeah! Oh, you're trying to scratch my book. Ah. Here we go. I have my makeup back on. You're gonna clean it off at some point. It's fine. You're not gonna get sick from it. Okay, murder toradors in place. I must have like 3 humanity. Honestly, I'm just I'm the cruelest torador ever. You make it quick and to the point, gulping down the precious blood as if it were your last. Out of the corner of the eye, you see that D'Angelo and the other officer have joined the feast. Once you both had your fill, you lean the officers against the wall, mindful to put their hats back on. Don't let anyone say you're not respectful of authority. Oof. An eerie quiet befalls the alley. For a brief moment, you stand there listening intently, looking around for any witnesses. Not a soul. Looks like you got lucky this time. Finding your crime scene proves easy enough. Could you, like, go and do whatever... Maybe not that. Maybe not that. It's about to say, you can't just, like, move and go and do whatever you're gonna do, so he jumped on the bed and hit his brother. Been a whole day like this. I don't know why. Finding the crime scene proves easy. Yep, just follow the yellow police tape and before you know it, you're standing in the middle of what used to be someone's living room. Don't like cross the police tape, you just go in the direction that they put it on. So if they just like wrapped it around the gate, just like go, okay, that's the police tape, the tape goes that way, I go that way. The place has been completely trashed, knocked over furniture, shattered glass, the works. Looking around, you notice a sign scribbled on a nearby wall. It reads, "His gift, our fate." You're no expert in typography, but the crooked letters look similar to the ones you saw in the Red Hook. Hello, Copper Calf! God damn it. Not to you, to my cat. I'm having cat issues today. Not much I can do about it. Sure enough, there's very little in terms of blood, save for the occasional stain that's bound to end up on the carpet once you toss someone through a glass coffee table. I mean... there's 3 of them. Which one would you like? If the person drains his victims, right? And the place is trashed. Didn't need to throw the victim on the coffee table. I mean, they could trash the coffee table by throwing anything at the coffee table. It didn't have to be a body. That would probably be all 3. And I'm also having vision issues, but that's fine. It's not like I need to read in this game. You know what? I have a pair of glasses and might help to actually wear, you know, the thought. I've been resorting to them quite a lot recently. It's my right eye decided to go on fire. I asked 3 cats for the price of 1. Ah! Glasses. Will do. You think that everything's sexy. Okay, D'Angelo's sucking on cigars right now. The night's been kind to them so far, but the questions kept piling on, and now they found themselves amidst the wreckage of another life. The night apparently has been very kind to us. I think D'Angelo is just in a good mood after finishing his cup. Maybe don't smash Bad. It was up to them to sift through the debris and come with a neat little pile of answers. Debris! Debris! Silly English language with the words that should be ending in double E, ending in the IS. Suddenly he tenses up as if sensing your eyes upon him. Feel free to chip in, kid. Anything catch your eye? Not a piece of graffiti. Yeah, there's that. What do you think it means? Debris. Debris. It's about Kane. Okay, a deeply held belief that Kane is the first vampire. And yeah, you're right, it's about the gift of Kane, as in vampirism, our fate. Clearly someone wasn't too happy to receive it. They were so upset that they went trashing buildings, writing with blood. God damn it, I hate where this is going. Why? It looks like you're right. Yeah, well, this time I would rather be wrong, alright? Anyway, it looks like we're not getting any more of this place. As if friggin' Thin Bloods are the only ones that get upset about vampirism. I mean... Can you stop exercising with the cat, please? Why? He's making noise. Thank you. It's not like Thin Bloods are the only ones upset to be a vampire. I mean, look at Nosferatus. Did they look happy to you? Stop presenting cats to my camera. You want lipstick on your nose too. Yeah, now you have some. That's a nice pink nose now. Eh. The cat looks really confused. It's just like, whoa. No, we have multiples. They sometimes run into the shot, and sometimes my husband has fun with carrying them around. No way around it, we gotta see the body. Are you protecting Thin Bloods? Look, kids, the Duskborn have shitty luck as it is. I'm gonna accuse one of them of breaching the Masquerade. The least I can do is goddamn due diligence. Oh, so if it was any other clan, then that would be fine to just accuse them without diligence, okay? Like a goddamn detective would. He mumbles to himself for a short while, but ultimately he regains his composure and his train of thought. Luckily for us, I might know someone who can get us an audience with our dearly departed. What? Hey, you know what this is? Yeah, the favor you owe me, time to deliver. Listen, I know you got a fresh one. The murder in bed stewie. I need to take a look. Yes, now? Yeah, you better. With that, he hangs up and gives you this trademark wry smile. I hope that what he knows is like the autopsy person and he's not about to go to the witch and go like, hey, can we speak to the ghost of the deceased, please? Aren't cell phones forbidden? Only if you tell them. Look, kid, I don't use it willy-nilly, alright? It's for special occasions. You don't always have time to throw fucking rocks at windows. Have you heard of pagers? A lot of people use them in their campaigns. I mean, sure, would need to give everybody a pager, but that's an option. Actually, do pagers go through any governmental facilities? Like, does anybody ever check what's on the pager? I'm asking for a friend. Can you live with that, or should I worry about being sent to the principal's office? I'm not gonna be ratting on you. Good to know, kid. Anyway, looks like the guy's gonna come through. Next stop, Kings County. The Bleeding Heart of Brooklyn! Wow! Never been at Brooklyn, but... I'm sorry, who are we meeting? I thought that it might be like, an autopsy person or something, so if you're saying that this is the heart of Brooklyn, I'm concerned. It's a dangerous place for kindred to show their face, incessantly crowded and full of people who specialize in noticing all sorts of physical afflictions. You're recently deceased, nobody's gonna notice shit. You might want to do that trick where you warm your blood and pretend to be alive for a bit. That might be a good thing to do right now if you're entering a hospital, because they are entering a hospital. Especially the sort that make up the very essence of vampire existence. For instance, death. Can you stop shaking my table, baby? Thank you. Thankfully, your business here tonight keeps you away from the hectic human hive of the... Business. Business, May. My business here tonight. But yes, we're not going to the ER. We are actually going to the autopsy person. The morgue. We're waiting for a contact. Every now and then you glance over at the undead Gumshoe as if to make sure his moldy mug isn't showing any signs of worry. It isn't. Or at least he's very good at hiding it. Finally, after 30 minutes or so, a lone figure emerges. Is that how we're calling D'Angelo? Because that's mean. From a side entrance, as the human-shaped shadow walks by. I'm now getting really vivid imagery. Weird-ass Tordo. Don't say human-shaped shadows, okay? I don't think, oh, it's a person walking by. I go, is that a La Sombra? And my second thought is, oh, shadow people. Oh, I know those. People sometimes complain about them. Now, quick to recognize him as the EMT you saw back at the murder site. Clearly nervous, the 20-something-year-old redhead can't seem to help but look back and make sure no one is following him. Finally, he stops and lights up a cigarette. Without even looking in your direction, he takes a puff and exclaims, seemingly to no one in particular, Room 112, you got 20 minutes. D'Angelo speaks without looking at you. That's her cue. I mean, no shit. It's not like... Yeah, can you just imagine being like, I don't know, Billy Bob in that parking lot just going, oh, me? I got 20 minutes? Okay. You follow the fanged detective through the same door of the EMT walked out of. Luckily, the wing of hospital seems unusually empty. Yeah, he probably spent like 30 minutes getting people out of there. Still, the confidence with which D'Angelo makes his way through the white and green corridor makes it clear he's been here before. Finally, he stops in front of one of the doors. Room 112, that's your stop. The room is small, with only one oversized freezer by the wall and single slab mounted in its center. Sure enough, the body of a middle-aged man is sprayed out on its steel surface. Even for a dead man, he seems unnaturally pale. Extreme blood loss will do that to you. Isn't it that... Okay, I need to Google this. Corpse blood pooling time. Fair enough. 2-3 hours until the corpse would like start going pale normally. About 12 hours. Most of like the corpse's blood would be on their back, effectively. Because, it just seeps through your tissues towards gravity. So after 12 hours, no matter your blood loss, you would look really pale anyway. And your back would look really red. Because... yeah. But it's not been 12 hours, so fair enough. Fair enough. Try as you might, you can't help but look at the man's face, his features twisted in abject horror. This was not a peaceful death. Okay, need to Google again. Facial expression stuck on corpse on death. I am gonna... the FBI will have real questions for me. What? I don't need to know if dying hurts. I'm asking about effectively muscles. Yeah, actually. Okay, found the information that I wanted. His last facial expression shouldn't be stuck on his face. Your, how's it called? Thing that covers your eyes. And that covers your eyes relaxes, and so does your jaw, because, muscle relaxes when you're not using it, so you kinda like that. Kinda end up with an open mouth and everything. Which, from what I gathered from watching mortician videos, is actually a big enough problem because, you don't want families to see their loved ones like that, because they don't look normal. So you tend to, like, close their mouths and, like, tie it up and stuff. But effectively, he shouldn't have a face of horror on his face. That shouldn't stick. Looking closer, you notice 2 small puncture wounds on the victim's neck, so they didn't even bother licking it. If ever there was a clearer sign of a vampire attack, you've yet to see it. Looking over at D'Angelo, you notice his lips moving in a familiar fashion. He's narrating again. Oof. I'm sorry, Jade. I'm sorry. I've seen dead relatives, but not during the time of death. I was at their funerals, like the open funerals. One of which was like days until it was found that he has deceased, so that one was a closed funeral. But yeah, you're not gonna stay with whatever facial expression that you died with. You're gonna look horrific. He's narrating again. Before he can utter an intelligible word, you cut in with a remark. Sorry to hear that. Those marks on his neck, is that what it thinks it is? I don't know, Lamar. It sounds like to me, like in your universe, if I want to kill people and I want to pin it on somebody else, I should just like walk around with like 2 spikes. It's like, measure your length of teeth, Okay, so like... About there. Get some knuckles, right? And attach some spikes. Here and here. And if you need to murder somebody in that universe, this isn't advice for the current people, FBI. This is advice for dimension travelers, if they ever manage to jump into books or movies. Just attach it to a knuckle and just like punch somebody right in the throat. And then go, don't worry, man, if you don't seek medical help, you're gonna bleed out in about 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna struggle until that happens. But effectively, if you do that, they will just blame it on the vampire attack. So, great way of, you know. Yeah, just like, So because they're gonna blame it on a vampire attack, just you know, relax. You already hid whatever you did. Everybody would be like, oh, it's Kindred. The only issue is the bloodbath that you're gonna endure with a man struggling for, you know, 5 minutes while you're waiting for them to bleed to death. Yep, good eye, kid. It's official, our killer is Kindred. Well, that didn't help anything. We need to figure out what kind of Kindred or which one. Look at his face though, sheer terror. He was fully aware all the way through. Killing aside, no Kindred worth their salt would allow this to happen. Unless they didn't even know better. This confirms it. We're looking for a thin blood. What? Okay, aware enough of Kane to leave messages on walls mentioning Kane. Not aware enough to kill people without them noticing you killing them. And somehow this confirms the thin blood? I'm confused. Fuck! As if on cue, the door swings open. A tired-looking man with a stethoscope around his neck walks in. With his eyes fixed on this clipboard, he doesn't appear to notice you yet. Yeah, that logic is lost on me too. That logic is kinda... lost on everybody. You know, I don't feel like eating everybody here. We already ate the cops. Let's hide behind the freezer! Pressed against the wall, you tense up, hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. The room, however, remains silent. You peer out from behind the freezer to assess the situation. The doctor calmly looks over at the victim, jots something down on his clipboard, and walks out. If you could breathe a sigh of relief, you would! So hard! You can! It's just like speaking. You need to inhale to speak. You're not communicating telepathically with magical windpipes. The wind still needs to pass through to make sound. Which means there is no physical reason why you can't sigh if you want to. All Kindred are just communicating in smoke signals without even knowing it. Like, they're just like setting up tiny fires and going while imagining that they're speaking, you know? D'Angelo materializes from the shadows lingering against the wall across from you. He gives you a slight nod. Nice save, kid. My first instinct was to jump him, but hey, whatever works. Now come on, let's get out of here. Time to pay our dear Primogen another visit. I feel really bad for Larson. It appears that the thin-blood Primogen would rather risk another visit from his old pal D'Angelo than to rouse suspicion of his family and neighbors. Which is good considering that's what he's about to get. Sure enough, the light in Larson's study is on, and you ever catch a glimpse of the man himself shuffling around the room. You look over to D'Angelo, wondering how you're gonna get Larson's attention this time. Without a single word, D'Angelo walks over to the nearby street lamp and leans against it, making sure he's visible to any and all who happen to look. Looks like time for subtlety is over. I mean, the first time we attacked some guy in front of his doorstep, and his dog barked a lot, and Robert was like, "The fuck are you doing?" So, I don't know, leaning against lamppost seems more subtle. It only takes a couple of minutes for Larson to take notice. you mean the time when we ate the cops? Our Toreador's like super savage. Or super savage. You see him lean against the window and storm out of the room. In mere seconds, he's out in front of D'Angelo's face. Listen to me, you moldy fuck. I've just had enough of your shit. You wanna pester me, fine, but leave my family out of it. Robert Cookie, right? We didn't knock on your door. We didn't inform your family. We didn't even knock on your window. We just stood outside your house. Suddenly he grabs the thin blood by the collar, lifts him off the ground, and smashes his back against the lamppost. You finished? Alright, now you listen to me and listen good. You think I'm enjoying this? You think I like to be jerked around? You think I got nothing better to do than to hang around the little puppet theater you made for yourself? Now either you give me a lead I can follow, or I'll start remembering things you would rather forget. Oh. For the first time since you met him, Larson looks speechless. His eyes wide with fear, he can only mutter under his breath. You wouldn't dare. Try me! Okay. Let's threaten the thin blood! Come on, Larson, just give us something. It's been a rough night. See, Robert? My assistant here is tired of your shit too. So what it's gonna be. If you want my help, put me the fuck down! With his feet on the ground, Larson straightens his collar in a faint attempt at preserving some shredded dignity. There's a place in Manhattan, Lower East Side, one of the few places in the city where my people can find shelter. Yeah, I know it. If you go there right now, you might find who you're looking for. We better. Finally, D'Angelo loosens his grip. You both watch Larson limp back to his house, looking back over his shoulder like he's gonna tell the teacher on you. You look to your partner, meaning to ask what that whole things you rather forget deal was. As if sensing your curiosity, D'Angelo cuts in with preemptive mutter. Come on. Got what we came here for. D'Angelo? D'Angelo? You didn't happen to sire any thin blood, did you? Their name can't be Robert, can it be? I mean, Robert's family is still alive. I have literally no idea how he's a primogen. And thin blood primogen does not make any sense to begin with. Like, if any other Camarilla would walk in, they should kinda wanna kill the prince on sight for committing great treason. But, I'm gonna assume that the only reason why anyone in New York is alive right now, not in our New York, in their New York, is because New York used to be Sabbat's stronghold because before those fuckers left for the Middle East. So Camarilla are probably like, well, they're likely gonna be back eventually, and we don't want to fight that war, so whoever decided to make their haven in New York can just get it for us. We're gonna ignore that place. We're gonna ignore that place. We're gonna let Sabbat deal with it. Yeah, that's why That is my theory on why the rest of the Camarilla don't just go, what the shit are all of you doing in New York? I said on the Discord, it's a bit like having a salubri primogen. Like, people go, oh, so having salubri anything would be suicide. It's like, yeah, because they have a blood hunt on them, but so do thin bloods. So do thin bloods. The fuck? And, Robert's young. Robert is really young. He keeps on going, you know, stay away from my family. If you mean your human family, that... You're probably less than a decade old, honestly, man. And he's just... gets to be a primogen. Gets to be a primogen. As you reach the address Larson gave you, you find yourself standing in front of what looks like an old garage. On the outside, the place looks as uninteresting as it gets. You would think it abandoned, if not for a few barely working lights illuminating its shabbily facade. Come on, Ratley. Okay, let's rattle. Once you're inside, however, I'm actually wondering can Robert walk in daylight? Because some thin bloods can. Because if he can, it would explain why he's still with his family. Like, he's just living his normal human life as a undead person. If ever there was a place worthy of being called a wretched hive of scum and villainy, this is probably it. Ah! Wretched hive of thin blood. The room is littered with drunks and crackheads, human and thin blood alike, their minds lost in the cruel little worlds, their bodies played out across the floor. D'Angelo leans over and whispers in your ear, I'll cover the back door. You stay near the front. Let's look around and see what we can find. Why are they bodies splayed out? What bodies? It's the middle of... Nobody should be asleep. Outside of maybe humans. Okay, let's focus our senses. I mean, we ate some kappas, so we may as well spend some blood. Focusing your senses, you plunge into the full spectrum of the room, hoping to hear someone or something worthy of attention. You regret it almost instantly. The room becomes a deafening echo chamber, a sea of babbling lunatics of muttered curses and drug-induced ramblings. You're almost ready to give up when a faint whisper catches your attention. A female voice, soft, trembling. The gift. He speaks to us. The blood speaks. Few words are enough to tell you that you just hit the jackpot. You followed the voice to its source, a young woman hunched in the corner of the room. As you walk towards her, D'Angelo emerges from the shadows right next to you. Nice catch! He kneels down beside her. You can tell he's trying to sound as comforting as possible, but with his gravely timber, it's not really working out. Hey, it's okay. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to talk. For now. Probably gonna resort to hurting you later. No, don't talk. Too loud. Too loud. She seems halfway out of it. It's like the lights are on, but whoever's inside is stumbling around after one hell of a bender. Alright, you like quiet, got it. Can you tell me your name? Sana! That's what he called me. Suddenly you hear the door swing open behind you. Ever though the night is fairly warm, a cold chill runs down your spine. You look towards the entrance. There's a woman standing there, and something about her just screams kindred. Even though she seems comically overdressed for a situation, somehow you don't feel like cracking a smile. Whoever she is, you can tell she means business. She starts making her way to the back of the room, not making any effort to sidestep any of the junkies and drunks. They all know well enough to get out of her way. Acting out of bravery and sheer stupidity, you walk up to her. She looks at you as if you were something she just scraped off her shoe. You smile nervously without even knowing it. Hello there! Who might you be? As soon as you open your mouth, her hand shoots out, grabbing you by the throat. The woman looks at you, tilting her head as if examining curious species of insect. Suddenly her eyes shift as she notices something behind her. Her face turns from disgusted curiosity to sheer annoyance. You! Is that Panhard? Sophie. What? Neither? Am I... Yeah, she does look familiar. Hey Val, that's my assistant you got there. Do you mind? Where is she? You gotta be a bit more specific, darling. Don't play coy, Jeannie. The manslayer. I know she's here. A blood hunt has begun. By order of the prince herself, the girl is to meet her final death. Hold your horses, honey. I'm conducting an investigation under the auspices of the sheriff. That counts for something, too. Look, sweetie, I'm not here for some clit measuring contest. You want this to get ugly? Be my guest. Otherwise, I suggest you step aside and let me do my job. What does her face remind me of? Not the Malkavian woman that was like following us around, was it? I mean, she was all bloody, but she doesn't have to be all bloody all the time. By all means. Okay, there's no trace of Santa. Well, I'll be. I could swear she was just here. You'll regret this. Story of my life. Come on, kid. Let's get out of this shithole. As you emerge from said shithole, you feel the cool night breeze caress your face. It's soothing and almost makes you forget how shitty the last few hours have been. Almost. Okay, so we care about a killer thin blood more than we do about Tamika. You'll regret it. I always do. Doesn't stop me from making bad decisions, doy. We are nicer to incomprehensible thin blood than we are to a girl that lost everything just like a night ago because we were just like, yep, she can deal with it, and just left. What's wrong with us? I will never know. Maybe we just have a curious dislike to any normal kindred. Okay, kid, I know you got questions, but it's getting early and I don't like having a Q&A session right now. For now you get one question, make it count. Do you know where the girl went? Not sure, but I might have some ideas. The important thing is we know who we're looking for. Too bad Valerie knows it too. She's a scourge, kid. Part enforcer, part assassin, all-round pain in the ass. We'll be seeing more of her, you can bet on that. And before you ask, yes, we would run into each other in the past. No, I don't feel like talking about it. Alright, kid, I don't know about you, but I'm turning in. I'll figure some stuff out and keep looking for a girl. Feel free to swing by the office in a night or two. He's turning in, but tonight is only halfway done, so, yeah, he's having an early night. That's who I was talking about. That girl. I think Valerie's her own character, but it's that hair. It's that hair. Okay, time to skip the friggin' the bullshit talk. The bullshit. Yeah, Benoit. I want this time to not like insult him at the last point and just like continue his storyline. So that means skipping through. So we're wondering if God still listens to somebody like us. Okay. Priest burns again. And we tried walking towards him. This time we are gonna stare directly at the priest and go, please, it hurts. Sit down and tell me what's wrong. It's simply too much. You mutter something incoherent in reply. You don't sound like a vampire, an undead being made powerful by mortal blood. You're just another sad, confused, lost soul. You turn and stagger away. That must be really confusing from the perspective of the priest. Sorry, priest. Your existence is really painful. Can you please stop? Okay, he wants to talk about why does the priest hurt. Yeah, let's scan Benoit. Benoit is a vampire, that much is clear. He's using his blood to stimulate the functions of a living body, but the rhythm of his heartbeat reveals its artificial nature. I'm sorry, what? How would you... How would you tell? Okay, so the normal rhythm is like the thunk. The thunk. The thunk. The thunk. It's not like your heart goes on the drum beat. It's a fairly simple rhythm, and it's fairly repetitive, because if it isn't, your blood pressure does funny things and you end up in the ER, which means that it's a very simple rhythm to replicate. Please don't tell me that what vampires do in order to pretend to be human is thunk! Thunk! Because the thunk! Not a hard rhythm. I'm not asking you to play me a song. I'm asking you to just go, the thunk! Like 60 times in a minute. That would be convincing. So like once a second. How is this difficult? Why do you say that it is? I feel like punching you. You'll have to decide to punch me or not for yourself. Let's talk a while and I'll let you punch at me if you still want to. Okay, does it matter that the priest burns? It's like it's the faith. There's a natural explanation to us being... No, there isn't. None of these... You see, I hate Benoit's story. I really do, because none of these answers are correct. My heart no longer beats, yet I move. I talk. Is that how God intended us to be? The real answer to this is, you are a supernatural phenomenon. Supernatural phenomena don't necessarily need to be explained scientifically. They probably can with enough years invested into research, but nobody's doing that in their Society of Kindred for some reason. Like, I mean, they could take the medical equipment and they could do it themselves. Make sure that it's not FBI catching them and shit. They can investigate what the shit happened to them, why they're still moving, but they're not doing that. So, with not having a natural explanation, supernatural explanation can be good enough. Now, that being said, is that how God intended us to be? Is like a completely separate question to that, okay? And the answer is, well, technically God intended everything. God intended sharks. God intended jellyfish. God intended the black hole. If your God is all powerful, then yes, you were indeed intended by God. So if you didn't, you would be dead, and not to walk you around the dead, dead. I'm sorry, can somebody punch my character in this conversation as well? Because I selected, there has to be a natural explanation. Lamar, whoa, I don't believe in the supernatural. Guy's a walking corpse, you don't believe in the supernatural. I agree on, we don't know the natural explanation, but, come on! Your whole existence is supernatural, you idiot dude, bro. Father Anthony's spirit is for realsies, yo! How do we know any of the stories to be true? Okay, he's like, have some faith in the fact that we are damned. Okay, Father Anthony's faith shows the way. Many in the Camarilla placed their faith in the invisible guidance of the Methuselahs. We're supposed to watch over us. Well, Methuselahs are just vampires that are old enough to literally manipulate your blood from torpor. There's no faith required. Yet I wonder how much that really matters when compared to the character of a good man. What are you smoking, and can I have some too? Did I come here to just talk religion? I have to pray for guidance! Let me just get out of Benoit's way. I have to pray for guidance. Okay. Okay. We get to finally leave Benoit alone. Thank you. Ugh. To get to the end of his storyline, I actually will need to stand him. Qadir Al-Asmai, the sheriff of New York City, is knocking on the door to your haven. The sight comes as more than a little shocking. If he had business with you, you either expect to see him already inside or never see him coming at all. Okay, he's being polite. May I come in? Haven't really had the time to make your place his own yet. It's like, wow, the lady that adopted you has a lot of things just for show. and we're like, we're really scared of Qadir. It's like, let's get to the point. Okay. My job is all about seeing through bonds and relationships. Monsters. I'm doomed to be a cop. That spiel again. Everybody lies. Why done it? And then now he's like blood bonds and stuff. So why are you here? He's like, okay, you haven't gone mute. I need to develop a report with you. I know that you don't want to see my face. And he's like, I need to figure out. I'm just gonna say Sophie. Is this about Sophie? Sophie's fine. Oh, the troublemaker is Emma? Oof. I'll be frank, at first I thought you were a total commercial failure, someone destined to eventually disappear from the streets of New York, without a trace or one soul to care. But it looks like your sister is the best guardian one could ask for. Lots of friends in high places and lots of favors to collect. The word is, she'll do anything to get you back. Yeah, non-commercially viable vampire. I'll arrange for the two to meet tomorrow so that you can straighten the situation and say goodbye to the life you've forsaken. Usually these matters are left to my discretion and I can't think of an easier solution. The lost sheep reappears, takes care of unfinished business, disappears, never to be seen again, nobody cares. It's simple, it's clean, no contrived schemes, no unnecessary victims, and it gives me an opportunity to learn more about you. Yep. It's the same deal as with the boss, except that this time around we actually do care about our sister, and it makes sense that our family would be like, hey, where did he disappear off to? Which for some reason for Kadir is like an unimaginable thing. They're like, whoop-de-doop, the person went missing and nobody cared. It means that we don't need to talk to Benoit today. Because we already wasted half a night. As you leave your haven, a homeless man bumps into you. Turn after him, but he blends into the crowd before you can even get a good look at his face. Instinctively, you check your pocket. A note? Look at Minton Bridge. Come over, D. Yeah, you dick, you come over. Oh, Manhattan Bridge, okay. So not Mountain Bridge. You're gonna look for a place to overlooking the bridge that's not too crowded, which is a good idea, but if you said to the bridge, I would assume on the bridge. Jane's Carousel? Okay. That's not on the bridge. We really need to teach D'Angelo how to write. So that he can give us the correct locations.
New follower.
Ooh! Thank you for following Euro TTV. As you're walking along the pier, you notice a lonely figure sitting on the bench. Hello! Steel flask in hand, his legs up on the railing. Soon enough you hear a familiar voice. Evening turned to night, and as the final flickering rays of sunlight gave way to that kind nocturnal shadows, so did the last of the jabbering tourists give way to blessed silence. And yet I couldn't shake the feeling. He was literally like, come to the bridge. And I was like, what's a good location overseeing the bridge? And I'm like, how does that make any sense? Come to the bridge means come to the bridge. But I wasn't alone. Okay, what's in the flat? Blood? Depends on what you think. It's a little something from my private reserve. I call it the Drunken Sailor because that's probably where it came from. Want some? Sure, we can get drunk together. It's blood, alright, mixed with other frivolous substances, some of which you recognize, while others you probably don't want to know. That's the spirit. Now that you're good and sauced, something I've been meaning to tell you. There's been another one killing, down by the docks. You didn't think to bring me along? No point, we know it's her. Victim sucked dry, same as before, another sign on the wall, something about impending doom, and oh lad, he coming! That particulars escaped me. You know, that night I saw her, she looked so frail, so innocent. Oh. You know... I'm sorry, that girl wasn't very coherent. At all. And it's not your regular thin blood incoherent, because thin bloods ain't very coherent to begin with. It's almost Malkavian level incoherent. Considering her level of incoherence, I did not really expect her to go anywhere, and she didn't. I don't know why D'Angelo did. Deep inside, I was hoping she'd get spooked, get out of town. Maybe, just maybe, that would be the end of it. And he calls himself optimistic. Know why she's doing it? Doesn't really matter at this point. Whether she's Kane's chosen or just poor girl gone nuts after a botched embrace, one thing is painfully clear. She ain't gonna stop. So anyway, I set up a meeting. Neutral ground, public space. Shouldn't get too ugly. Still, I was hoping you could tag along. Is it Larson again? Nah, let's leave the poor schmuck alone for now. It's pretty clear he's just as clueless as we are. You might want to sit for this one. Am I meeting your parents? Valerie. That blood must be amazing vintage, because you sound fucking hammered. Look, I know you two didn't hit it off, but she's not as bad as you might think. I mean, in some aspects, she's probably worse, but she can be reasoned with. Look, the way I see it, we ain't got a choice. As much as I want to help Sana, she's clearly a few bats short of a belfry. More people are gonna die unless we do something about it. Apparently I still don't like it, but I'm completely okay with leaving Tamika to her own devices after she experienced the most horrible night of her life. But this little crazy thin blood lady, that's where my humanity draws a line. Not on the policeman that I ate, on the crazy thin blood lady. Yes. Right, Belle. It's 3 AM. I can't see completely out of my right eye. I am interpreting what I'm seeing on screen. Yeah, I shouldn't point out Lamar's hypocrisies whatsoever. I'll tag along if you need me. But for the record, I really don't want to. Me neither, kid. But if there's one thing life has taught me, you don't always get what you want, says the Nosferatu. Says the Nosferatu. Oh, he feels wise. Well, ain't that fucking poignant? Eh. He is drunk. Hey, kid. You meet his gaze, trying to look friendly rather than condescending. Yep, Lamar's a great guy. Lamar's a great guy. You're right. Aw. Well, I'm glad that you're here, Uru. I upload to BitChute what I can. I can't really upload the streams there because they're really long and BitChute likes to crash on me. And with that heartfelt moment, you bid adieu to the sprawling vista and make your way towards the bridge. Next stop is Manhattan. Yeah, we're approaching 3 AM at alarming rate, but nice seeing you around and have a nice sleepy. Thank you. Oh, we're going places fast. Yeah, approximately 1 hour per 60 minutes. Woof! Entering the park from Midtown Manhattan, you promptly take a spot by one of the alleys, not very deep in the dark. Minutes pass 5, 10, 15. You start to wonder if she's ever gonna show up. Suddenly, you hear a familiar voice, but with an unfamiliar tone. She sounds almost nice. Hello, Jeannie. Something tells you there are only so many places she would feel at home, and probably not ones you would want to find yourself in. Well... Sorry about last time, nothing personal, you understand? When I get caught up in the moment, I can get a bit intense. I can attest to that! That sounds like you two are having a bit of a... Oof. Anyways, yeah, night-night. Night-night to you. Well, he picked it up. He picked up on it as well, that they might have a thing. That the Nosferatu and the pretty lady might have a thing. But let's get down to business! All work and no play, huh? Why not? Lay it on me, sugar. It's about Santa. Ooh! Alright, the Thin Blood. What about her? The girl's a threat. We need to find her. Figured we can do it faster if we work together. Uh-huh. Keep going, honey, because I have a feeling there's a catch coming. Catches? Oh! We want her alive. See, now that's a deal breaker right there, sugar. If you want me to ever even consider it, you have to sweeten the pot. I bet tall, dark, and handsome over here might have some ideas. Okay, this conversation is going places. You want a cookie? She wants her hands down in your cookie jar. They both look at you wide-eyed. I'm sorry. Now they think that you're suggesting that sex get exchanged. Well, that didn't come out right. I mean, literally not, Wait, what we were talking about? She wants a higher profile target to show off to the prince what a good little scourge she is. That's all you care about nowadays, though. Playing the game, climbing the ranks. Not the cookie jar! That's my Ginny. Big old brain and a heart to match. I knew right away he'll try to help this girl. He does love him, a damsel in distress. But you, I'm still not sure what your angle is. What do you care? I don't, honey, not really. Well, I'm a Torador, that's like my angle. My angle is that I am a hypocrite. And for some reason, I feel like playing nice to this crazy thin blood lady. Yes, that's D'Angelo for us. It's called making conversation, so there, you know my terms. Contact me when you made up your mind. Don't take too long, though. I'm a lucky girl. I might just find your little thin blood on my own. Still, I hope we can work together. We did make a good team back in the day, didn't we? Ooh. Slowly, seductively, she puts her arms around his shoulders. She glances over to you, clearly enjoying how awkward it makes you feel. You have a thing for the Nosferatu? My things are none of your concern, sugar. Anyway. Withdrawing from the strange half-embrace, she flicks D'Angelo's nose gently with her index finger. Almost instantly, she turns from flirtatious to dispassionate. However this plays out, I have a feeling we'll meet again sooner than later. Yeah, I'm not awkward. I'm good. I'm all good in here. I like watching two people be passionate for one another. What about it? The look on his face, a mixture of longing and guilt, is borderline comical. Okay, so they do have like some sort of weird datey history. And I don't think that we should ever describe Nosferatu expressions as comical. Finally turns back towards you as if breaking some spell he was under. Well, that could have gone a lot worse. Were you guys a thing? Nope, not going there. Wall and I, we got some history. Some of it good, some of it bad. Let's leave it at that. And kid, don't be fooled. Wall likes to play around, but she will rip your fucking guts out and stuff him up your ass if she means that she can get what she wants. And right now, she wants me to give her Larson. I'm sorry, what? The guy's a primogen because Panhard has a soft spot for thin bloods, right? This is her scourge. This is her rule enforcer. If he's only alive because she has a soft spot for thin bloods, why would her rule enforcer be like, I'ma kill him? How is he involved? It doesn't, not directly, it's just that he might have less than admirable chapters in his biography. Might done some pretty egregious shit. Egregious. And Valerie knows a certain handsome someone might have evidence of such shit. Would allow her to bring him down, and bring down a primogen, even one as lame as Larson, is a pretty big deal. Fuck it, I'm heading back to the office. Need to put my feet up, get some blood flowing to the old noggin. Coming. Well, why the hell not? Although it's not your first visit, you still find it hard to navigate the dark, rust-ridden corners of the grain terminal. Luckily this time you're with someone who could probably do this blindfolded, so you just follow his lead. As you're both climbing the rickety stairs leading to the mezzanine, I almost hoped that the stairs would just kind of break because they're rickety and there's two of you. You suddenly notice light coming from D'Angelo's office. A quick look assumes that, no, he did not in fact leave it on. You bust through the door like undead Tango and Hooch. Or was it Turner and Cash, ready to unleash unholy fury on the intruders? Half expect a Nanark death squad or a Psy hunting party. Instead you get Larson, who nearly falls out of the chair when you two bust it. Poor Larson. What are you doing here? What does it look like I'm doing? I'm waiting for you two bozos to show up. And now that the clowns have arrived, does Zionist mind telling us what brings him to the merry circus tent? Her. Oh! Okay. There's Santa in the room. The blood. No, not again, please. Did she actually tell you anything? She just keeps babbling about blood and signs and all this nonsense. She came to my house, probably figured out who I was, thought I could help, but honestly, I have no idea what to do with her. I mean, I should turn her to the prince, but that's just another strike against my people. Then again, I can't just set her loose, not after what she did. Look, D'Angelo, you can tell that I'm desperate if my first instinct was to come to you. No, Larson, I would attribute that decision to what's left of your common sense. Hey kid, I think we should call it a night. Just give me some time to talk to the girl. Maybe I'll get through to her somehow. The sign! The sign! It's always there! Yeah, I know! At one point the game said that the shadow was leaving the hospital. And they meant the doctor, and I was like... That just sounds to me like a La Sombra game, so like be very careful with how you describe people. Especially when you're like, shadows are leaving places. Though I ain't holding my breath. Whoop. He's gonna have some choices. That has to be a Malkavian. I mean, her mind's gone. Knock knock, you would ask who's there, but you know that it's the sheriff of New York City would play along. When you open the door, you see him toying with the car keys he's holding in hands. Ready to go? Yep, we're going. We're going to take a trippy trip to see our dearly departed, nope, sister, not dearly departed sister. We're the dearly departed, she's our sister. Yep. It's a familiar place. It's right next to the exhibition place. It's the one who met your future sire. This is where you saw Emma for the last time. This is where they last saw poor Lamar. Who knows whatever might have happened to him. That's what your sister's trying to find out. I took the liberty of messaging her in your stead. She's up there waiting for you to come and explain yourself. Oof. We're going to the gallery. Instead of, like, her house or my house or something. Yes! That's true logic right there. Okay, she gets upset and she cries and hugs you. God damn it, Lamar, god damn it. You're so cold, what happened to you? You look into her eyes and start searching your heart for a lie that would satisfy her, if only for a little bit. Hi! I died! I decided to go on a soul-searching trip, and I kinda lost mine, so now this is just the husk of a body. I love you! Yes, I became a soul reaver. It's a really hilarious story. I can't really come back home, sorry. I only want you to know this. I love you. If there was one person I ever loved, it was you, and that now sounds really creepy. I've always known all the things you did to save my stupid ass, and I wish I could read. What happened? Lamar, talk to me. All the life-saving work she sent you away from that concept artist job at the very exhibition. I've been losing my mind, talking to literally everybody I know to ask where the last time they saw you was. All the time she helped you get your shit together. I've always been honest with you. The least you can do is return the favor. She has, and she absolutely deserves to know, but she can't. Quadir is waiting downstairs. Lamar. A voice startles you. Your first instinct is to run. Oh, that's gonna look super awkward, like... Lamar, explain yourself! And Lamar just, like, turns on super speed and darts out of there. To be fair! Explanation! Unlike the beast you become, you trust it. Lamar? You can't do this, not now, not like this. She watches you. Kindred, an undying creature of the night, zoom away from her. Run into the elevator and press the ground floor button. Oh, that must look so awkward. Oh no. The elevators don't appear immediately, and they don't close immediately. So you're just kinda jump, and then you're just standing there while clicking the button. Let me out. This might be the last time you ever see each other. At least look her in the eye and force yourself to tell her one last thing. Don't search for me! For your and my own good. She's too stunned to react as the elevator doors close. You slide down the wall, hiding your face in your arms. You find your own priorities disgusting, but what gets you down the most is not the fact that you failed to give closure to the only person you cared about. It's more that you failed to make this farewell beautiful. Oh god. My inner tortor is kicking in. The farewell was too ugly. Redo. It makes you feel like a failure of an artist. Even with all this newfound power, you still can't express yourself through the canvas of your life. My inner torridor is speaking, still stuck in your own ways. But you know him. You'll take the pain you caused to her and use it to make art that resonates, that sells. If somebody told me don't search for me, for mine and their own good, I would continue searching. What the fuck? That's one sentence is not enough to dissuade people, just saying. What if authentic trauma is the best gift you could find to repay all her generosity? No. Oh no. I'm sorry, no, game. No. That's as wrong as it can be as a sentence. That sentence is just magnitudes of wrong. Okay, I'm sorry, I know that you're an artist and that you have been very nice to me. As a repayment, I decide to beat you to the edge of your life because trauma will make you make good art. Enjoy! Oh, that's a good one. The FBI, I agree. But no, it's just, don't look for me. And bloody, we're gifting her trauma. It's a gift. Jesus Christ, you're disgusting. I agree, Lamar. If you consider all those emotions commodities, no wonder you're a failure as an artist. Elevator doors open. Better run while she's still up there. Yeah, that's what I gathered from there. I'll keep my eye on the situation, placate her somehow. She won't stop looking. I've got some well-tested methods, non-violent, of course. It's even worse! Lamar came in there, gave her a hug, said, "I love you," ran, while waiting for the elevator, went, "Don't search for me," clicked the button down, ran. You're an artist, aren't you? So you of all people should know that things never work out the way you planned. There could always be more time to plan, tools that could help you execute it better. Perfection isn't just an accident. The only thing you can do is give it your best shot, given the circumstances, and immediately move on to the next thing. When all is said and done, regret is nothing but narcissism and waste of time. Sophie, your coterie, they're all the materials you've been given, and they're potent ones. Make the best use of them. is that they might create something more beautiful than the artist's tools ever did. And as a side note, I envy you. I wish I still had someone to make my knees feel like jelly. Even when you can't see them anymore, just knowing that they're there keeps you in touch with what you once were. Quadir, you're not that old. I think you were just really lonely before and after. Yep, Pat. You're a dark knight, aren't you? You are. I mean, they've given you a two-handed sword that's dumbly oversized, and you keep on going emo on everybody in your speeches. You are Dark Knight. Thank you. And he calls himself Mr. Bad Guy again. Because once again, I swear, Quadir's a Dark Knight. He's just a... Yep, he's a Dark Knight. Dead End Blues. It's been some time since your last visit to the Red Hook. You should probably get back to D'Angelo and see if you managed to figure out how to handle Sana. Yep, that's a good idea. His office is quiet. What you witness instead as you open the door is the picture of Serenity, the girl, though still curled up in the corner, sitting calmly with her eyes fixed on the pages of some pulpy detective novel. Doesn't even register your presence. Okay, it's been days, and she's still in that corner. Interesting. Sitting behind his desk, D'Angelo seems to be looking over some files, puffing on his usual brand of cigar. Seeing no trace of Larson, you assume he must have gone back to his family. No, but I mean, is she sleeping in that corner too? Noticing your presence, the vampire detective leans back in his chair and gives you a tired look. Hey there, kid. Glad you could make it. Any luck with her? Same old, mumble mumble, ominous non sequitur. But I do know one thing, she might not be all there. But she's not all gone either. I think there's still hope for this girl. Anyway, I've been going over the case files, mulling over the options. Surprise, surprise, they all suck donkey dick. No matter how we got about it, someone gets spoke over. Her, Larson, us. Okay, what options do we have? Here's how I see it. 1. We grab Sana and take her to Elysium and make case for her to Prince Panhard. 2. We get Valerie to back off by feeding her the dirt I got on Larson. 3. We try to get Sana out of the city. 4. We give Sana to Valerie. I would go with 4. You have managed to get the girl to sit down and read a book. Which to you is proof that she is there. Congratulations, the person that keeps doing nothing but speaking doomy nonsense and killing people can still read. Wow. Come on, kids. I can hear them thoughts bouncing around your head from over here. Out with it. Elysium, isn't that a death sentence? Pretty much, but not quite. If we can get an audience with Panhard, we might be able to convince her to spare Sana's life. The prince isn't as much of a hard ass as some would like her to be. She's probably rather avoid further alienating the Duskborn community. The Duskborn community. The Duskborn community. You mean the Thin Bloods that Camarilla won dead on sight? That said, if we run into Quadir, we're as good as fucked. Well, what do we have on Larson? A few years back, the Second Inquisition led a coordinated assault on New York Kindred. Operation Lights Out, they called it. Nasty fucking business. Larson was one of the Inquisition's first targets, but when they got to him, he managed to convince them to spare his life. In exchange, he fed them info on a fellow Camarilla member, one Nikki the Chop. Suffice it to say, Nikki didn't make it. Can we kill both of them? Nicky the Chop. Nicky liked chopping, hence his last name. It's not my choice to make. Look, kid, I've been at it all day, mulling it over, and all I got from my trouble was the splitting headache. I just don't know anymore. Just pick one and make a case. Okay. Apparently, if you think too hard, you can strain your undead brain muscles. You know, let's take her to Elysium. Larson is so invested. Lamar's so invested into her, and I don't actually know why. She's not all there. And she's killing tons of people. So honestly, let's just bring her to Elysium. If we can't convince Panhard to give Sana a shot, the girl's as good as dead, and I'm good with it. And let's be convincing! So be it, fuck. Do me a favor, kid. Watch her for a few minutes, okay? I gotta make some arrangements, make a few calls. But not like with a phone or anything, because you know that would make me a naughty boy, which I'm clearly not. I am clearly not using a phone right now. You turn to the girl who still has her nose in the book. Hell of a week, huh? Hell. And you're like, okay, let me just leave her there. Once again, why are we even trying? Alright, I called a friend of mine who works at the art hall. She says the prince is there right now in her private quarters. We'll just have to figure out a way to get an audience. He walks over to Sana and crouches beside her. Speaking softly, he takes the book out of her hands and gently strokes her head. Hey, darling, I need you to listen very carefully. We're gonna go on a little trip, okay? My cat looks like he's about to jump after something. You need to stay quiet and stay close to me. Can you do that? Stay close to D'Angelo? Yeah. Hey, you 3-year-old child in an adult's body? D'Angelo. Are we sure that she's a thin blood and not a Mulcavian? That's my question. Close enough. Gift not hurt. You're welcome. Art is the last thing on our mind. We're in a gallery, so there's a lot of art around here, so like that's not very helpful. Angela gestures towards a lone figure standing in a corner. To your surprise, it turns out to be Sophie, and she looks at Sana. And here I thought nothing in this world could surprise me anymore. Mind telling me what it is you're doing here? We're here to see Prince Panhard. I don't suppose you could help us get an audience? I think you're confusing me with the Prince Herald. Honest mistake in this lighting. Still, I'm afraid you're out of luck. From what I've heard, the prince is not accepting visitors. I'll owe you one. You already owe me. And much more than just one. Ugh. Yep, Sophie, you know, when you're dying again at the end of this game, I'm just not gonna care. I am really not gonna care. Maybe I can help. You look over to D'Angelo. He seems frozen in place, not able to move a single muscle. This is bad, very bad. Why are we so scared of Qadir? I'm sorry, Qadir the Dark Knight emo. Qadir the sad boy. Keeping things casual, Qadir tips an imaginary hat in your general direction. When he looks at Sana, you notice his expression sour, if ever so slightly. Perhaps this is conversation best held in private. Follow me. Langley? Qadir? Not seeing any way out of the situation, you follow Qadir into a small backstage area. There he stops and addresses you once more. It's good to see you, D'Angelo. It's been a while since you last showed your face around here, and I see you brought friends. So how about we skip the unnecessary drama and you two leave without incident while I take care of the thin blood guest? Oh! It's not her fault that she's insane! Okay. It is not her fault that she's insane, but the problem is that she's insane and she's going around killing people. It's like, you arrested a mass murderer, okay? And you brought them to court. You looked court in the face. And went, not his fault that he's insane. Yeah, but... you know... consequences! And yeah, Qadir, what do you normally do? Do you like chop cheese? I mean, he has a giant ass sword that he's an actual Dark Knight. Girl's mentally ill. You can't hold her responsible for her actions. I'm not holding her responsible for anything. She's a problem. It's my job to solve problems. Doesn't have to be this way. Just let us talk to Panhard. The Prince Panhard to you, D'Angelo, and no, your harebrained scheme isn't gonna work. What exactly did you think was gonna happen? You bring the Duskborn with a bloodhound on her head to my doorstep and what? Hope that the prince stays my cruel hand? Honestly, I thought you were smarter than that, but I promise to make it quick. Painless. That's as much as I get. Don't push it. Oh, and with that, he turns to Sana. His expression grows softer, almost kind. He then grabs her by the hand gently. There is not even an inkling of violence in his demeanor. Come, my child. You've been very brave. The pain is almost over. Ooh. Come here, time to be put down. What I mean. He's not wrong. She kept on talking something about hell for like 2 weeks straight now. It is. It's been a while. Pain. Over. With blissful ignorance, she looks at you and D'Angelo Sheriff walks her out of the room. Your companion looks broken as if something inside him just snapped. Without ever looking at you, he utters under his breath, I killed her. No. Qadir's about to kill her, but, there needs to be an option of you fuckwit. She's been killing people for weeks. What's wrong with you? If there's one person that we shouldn't care, it would be that. You gave it your all. Sometimes shit just happens and there's nothing you can do. Nice catchphrase, kid. Should have it printed on a t-shirt. It's like, this is just a thin blood execution room. We got quite a bit of them. I mean, for some reason, Panhard is all like, we were gonna have an actual thin blood representative. I really thought I could save her, you know? You leave the art gallery and head back to Red Hook. On your way, you keep thinking about Santa and whether now is the exact moment Kadir brings her final death. It's not a pleasant journey. She probably died the moment she entered the room, honestly. I don't think that Kadir had a lot of time to waste. Slowly, clumsily, you make your way back to the grain terminal. No words are spoken, no jokes made, no monologues muttered. There's only silence. As you head up to the stairs to D'Angelo's office, you can feel the tension breaking. You can tell that the moldy sleuth has reached the breaking point. He walks into his office and leans against his cluttered desk. You figure now is a good time to send you to break the silence. Are you gonna be okay? What a day, eh? What a day! And he crashes his desk on the floor. And he knocks over the file cabinet. Finally, D'Angelo stops and looks at the ceiling. It's hard to tell if he's had enough or simply run out of stuff to throw around. Ah. Small paperback novel, the same you saw Santa reading earlier tonight, landed while D'Angelo was giving the royal trashing. You pick it up. In huge letters, the title on the cover spells The Longest Night and Other Stories. The smaller caption underneath reads, another collection of stories from the Gianni D'Angelo saga. What in the actual fuck? You flip it over and immediately drawn to the picture on the back cover. Not for a lack of flaky skin and distorted feature, you say that the guy is very familiar. Yeah, apparently D'Angelo had a life before he died. Wow! Ah, Reginald Finch. Yep. Yeah, that's me in the picture. Reggie fucking Finch. Haven't seen him in a while. Wasn't planning to. You took on a name of your character? Right, it's more than that. I sort of became him. See, Reggie Finch was a pushover, a small-time journalist and a wannabe writer. He would never survive out there among the coteries of New York. Gianni D'Angelo, on the other hand, honestly just sort of happened. Guess it was the only way I could make sense of it all. I mean, once you wake up looking like this, realizing your life and all that, you were gone forever, you can't just really blame me for trying to at least make it interesting. I feel like I would be giving lifelong advice here. Well, I mean, if you're playing pretend, you're eventually gonna break character, so just be yourself. Look, whatever you choose to call yourself, you've proven time and time again that you can handle yourself out there, that you got a heart plus some brains and brawn. Just what I'm saying is the guy I've gotten to know these past few days, be it Reggie or D'Angelo, is not just a character, he's a person. One I am glad to call a friend, something that I did not say to poor Tamika. That I'm gonna be surprised if she hasn't committed Sudoku by now, and we never checked up on her. Thanks. Thank you. Tell you what, how about you take the rest of the night off? I need some time to get my shit in order. Starting with this office, some dumb assholes made one hell of a mess of it. Ah, now we gave him a personality disorder, just like that. Yep. She's probably gone and committed Tetris by now, but we never checked on her. I'll be seeing you. And now we feel like it's gonna be alright. And the achievement for that is bye, my lovely. Oi! Don't bite my mints. Hi. Hi, kitty. Hey, boy. You looked really surprised just now. But anyways, we have managed to finish the Angela story. When we come back, we'll be racing to the finish and, racing through Benoit. Not... I want to see the end of that, but I hate Benoit. Hate his guts. If it was that kind of racing, I would honestly prefer it. So yes, when we come back, we'll probably be finishing Coteries of New York. Then we'll be moving to Shadows of New York, where we play La Sombra. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Toodaloo.